Hi all, Picky here. What I'm going to do today is show you how to make the molds for these clear PS3 buttons and also for the directional pad shown here. First thing we're going to need to do, which is briefly shown in this video, is how to make a block to hold molds. You can use a container, but I feel these are the best way to do them. Turns out nice and neat. Yeah, easy to use, easy to pull apart, and it can be adjusted. The finished product will be this mold right here. It's already got some buttons setting in it, just so I can finish off my next video. But yeah, alright, let's start. Okay, so what we're going to do here is use a table saw to cut two pieces that are 6 cm by 11 cm, and then we're going to do two smaller bits which are about 6 cm by about 3 cm, and they'll be the side bits for our blocks. Just take care when doing this. Easy to have a spare set of hands or someone who actually knows what they're doing. Back to the hand. Draw a couple each. Turn it off. Move it down, because it's they're going to be like that. So I want this one to be shorter. So I can make it square or rectangle. So make that one.
When the first line is 50.
4.5, 40.
40.
So I can make it longer, doesn't matter.
Huh?
So I can do it longer.
Yeah.
So do 240.
Alright. Dinner.
Is that light? Turn that off.
So what are you going to do with this?
So we've cut off one, we've cut two sides so far. Now basically they're going to look like the L shape shown here, and just nailed together. You can use some wood glue if it starts seeping through. I didn't have to for this one, it seemed to work well. Okay, there you go. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished. Alright, so here you go, it's the finished product, the two side pieces with the base. Base is optional, you don't really need it. I just think it's a bit more secure, and also I've put double-sided tape on the one of the white section on. Easy just to hold the pieces down, don't have to worry about sticking them down. This is how it basically works. Just slide it in, put it in, use two clamps to hold them down. I'll just stick some buttons on, and let me just get this tape off. So just stick your buttons straight on, base down. Some people do it the other way around, I don't know why. It's easy, just do it base down, you get a flush bottom. Okay, and they're not going to move the upside tape, we'll just hold them in place. Okay, so it's them stuck, not going to move anywhere. Now what we're going to do is put the framework up around it, to hold it in place, to hold the mold in. This would be the easiest way. You can use a container if you don't want to, if you don't have the wood or you don't have table saw, whatever. A container will work just as well. It's just I find that these type of molds easy to use. You have to worry about bumps and all that. So once it's all put in, just clamp it all together as shown here, and then you're ready to prepare for the pouring. And there they are, inside, waiting to go. Okay, now everyone's using, what is it? Everyone seems to be using liquid latex. Instead I use Pinky Seal. It's made by Barnes. It's a silicone base. It doesn't shrink, and it's very reusable. Turns out very clean, like very neat. Compared to the silicone, you don't have to do multiple layers either. Okay, so it's 50-50, equal parts. So you mix part A with part B. I just make a bit of a mess here. A bit hard to pay attention and video at the same time. So for the molds I done, I only needed about, say, 20mm max. I done a mix of 30mm. Obviously too much. Make a mess. Alright. So you mix it slowly. Try not to get too many bubbles in it. Usually this stuff doesn't bubble up much, which is perfect. Just mix it nice and slowly. Give it a bit of a tap if you want. Okay, and now slowly pour it in. Don't just dump it in. You slowly pour it in. It also helps the bubbles come out while you're pouring. Do it a bit at a time. Give it a bit of a tap to make the smaller bubbles come up to the top. As you can see, there's a couple of bubbles, but don't worry about them. They're not going to touch the mold. It's just going to be on the base. Because once it's all done, we just unclip it and flip it upside down. This takes usually about 20 minutes to set. If you've got excess, try your luck for another button in or whatever in the spare mix. It might work, it might not. I've done it before and it seemed to work well. Alright, 20 minutes later, alright, it's time to take out the mold. So we're going to do just unclip them. Don't just rip off the mold, because if there's a thin layer on the wall, it'll rip. Just slowly wiggle it apart. Okay. Alright, slowly pry it off. Okay, here's our finished mold. Just be careful cutting away. You don't want the top to be all full of gaps and stuff. I use my nail here, it's easy to rip off. Pinky Seal, I found it at an art and craft store. I looked at about $32 Australian for it. Quite expensive, but you get 500ml for that price, and you can do heaps of molds. And here's the finished product, a perfect set mold. Easier to do than any of the other videos I've seen, and yeah, nice and neat. Next video I'll put on will be of me actually making the molds, and make the buttons and how they're done. Don't forget to subscribe. See yous.